Hello and welcome to the Total Packers off-season report. I'm Larry McCarron. Of course, it's been an off-season dominated by Aaron Rodgers and his impending trade to the New York Jets. The Packers and Aaron deciding it was time to part company after 18 mostly great seasons.
It's complex, it's hard, it's complicated, but at the same time, I think once we got down to the road and knew what Aaron wanted, we've been trying to facilitate that.
I've got nothing but love and appreciation for what Aaron has done for so many in our organization. He's done so much for myself, my family, our coaches' families, so many people within the organization. A lot of people have been rewarded, quite frankly, because of his ability to go out there and play at such a high level.
We are joined now by my esteemed colleagues from Packers.com, Mike Spofford and Wes Hotkowitz. And Wes, is there any way in the world this trade does not happen?
Well, so much time has passed now, Larry. You hope that it does. I mean, for both sides and everything that's involved with that. But certainly you heard Aaron Rodgers talk about it. And where the Packers are at right now, where he sees himself at this point in his career, he's excited about what the New York Jets are doing, and the Packers obviously sitting with a former first-round pick and a third-year veteran in Jordan Love. It seems like if there was ever to be a transition point, this would be the one.
Mike, the Jordan Love era is upon us.
Yeah, it is.
Is the young fella ready?
Well, the Packers certainly believe so. Brian Gutekunst believes so. And it's not just about what he did in the fourth quarter in Philadelphia in primetime, that game that everybody saw where he looked very different from the quarterback who made his only NFL start in Kansas City. It's about all the stuff behind the scenes, running the scout team, the way he's looked in practice, the way he's shown leadership in the locker room to take this next step. The Packers believe he's ready, and they believe it's time.
I think Goody said it best when he said, at this point, Jordan just needs to play.
It's been a steady progression since he's got here, and we're excited about what Jordan can do for us.
Lost right side, he's got down the sideline, touchdown! Excellent pass from the quarterback, Jordan Love.
He's been on the money, hasn't he?
Yes, he has, very sharp.
He's excited about the opportunity. I think going in there last year, having some success, gave him some confidence, and that's what you want.
I love what I've seen out of Jordan Love. I thought his poise in the pocket was very good.
He's been trending in the right direction the whole time, but every opportunity that he's had, I think he's done a really nice job with.
Left side of the end zone, leaping grab, Romeo down, touchdown!
Nice job by Love. It's enjoyable to see the young guy have some success. Guys, the draft is just days away, and rather than embarrass ourselves with precise predictions, let's limit our discussion to players of potential interest to the Green Bay Packers. Deal?
Deal.
Sure.
In this segment, we'll focus on offense, and I'll focus on Dalton Kincaid, the tight end from Utah. In an extremely strong class of tight ends, he is without question the most polished receiver. I think he would fill a big need for the Green Bay Packers. Wes?
Yeah, Larry, and in that same vein, I'm going to stick on the offensive side of the ball and go with Ohio State's Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now, obviously, we know how long it's been since the Packers have taken a receiver in the first round, but this kid, for me, checks all the boxes. The fact is they're going to look a lot at his injuries and the hamstring this year. The guy was incredible his sophomore year. He is a decisive force in the middle of the field. I think whatever team gets in, if it happen to be the Green Bay Packers, you're going to have a playmaker that is going to cut up the interior defenses of the NFL.
Spoff, who do you like?
Well, I like big guys in the first round, Larry, and I've got my eye on a mountain of a man from Tennessee in Darnell Wright, 6'5", 333 pounds. He's played both left tackle and right tackle. Had a 99 pass blocking grade from PFF last season. No sacks allowed in 865 snaps. In the SEC, there's pretty good edge rushers in that conference, so that's a guy who really intrigues me.
If this year's top pick contributes as much as last year's top pick, the Packers have found themselves a real deal player. In case you were absent from school that day, the Packers' top pick last year was a fella by the name of Quay Walker.
With the 22nd pick, the Green Bay Packers select Quay Walker,
Quay, in the not too distant future, there's going to be a new draft class. Now, it's not too long ago, you were one of those guys coming out. What advice would you give that new class?
Just always remember why you started and what's your why. Sometimes we can lose focus of why we doing it. Just keep the main thing. Just always remember why you're doing it. And there's so many people that would love to be in your shoes, and you one of the chosen few who get to do so. So just always keep that in mind, and everything should play out.
It seems like every time I look at a mock draft, every other player is from Georgia. It's not fair to the rest of the college football playing universe. What's going on at Georgia?
I don't know what it is. I just think Coach Smart is just being a little selfish. He's taking away everybody, I want to say. But all of it, we just got a whole lot of talent. Some come in right away and get recognized, some don't. In the case, that was my case, I didn't get recognized for real until my senior year, but if you're good, they always gonna find you. I don't know, it's something down in the water, Mr. Larry. I don't know what it is, though.
Hammered down on the play. Quay Walker delivered the blow.
Now, Quay, listen closely, because you're going to get quizzed on this later. I want to talk about your rookie season. You are a starter from day one, and then you end it by making the all-rookie team. In between, you lead the team in tackles. You lead the team in forced fumbles. You have 7 passes defensed. You have 5 tackles for a loss. You have 4 hits on the quarterback. You have a sack and a half and a fumble recovery that you returned 63 yards against Philadelphia that led to a touchdown. Now the quiz part. Of all those little factoids, is there one you're most proud of?
I got to go with the forced fumbles, I would say. Just anytime we can get the ball back to the offense, I just feel like as a defense, that's one of the main goals you need to have, scoring on defense and just creating turnovers. Anytime you do that, it's pretty much a high percentage that you're going to win that game.
My, oh my, Quay Walker.
Last season, Devondre was hurt for a while, and you took over as a rookie as the signal caller on defense. Was that kind of nerve-wracking?
It definitely is. I want to say that first week it made me real, real nervous, I'll say. And I'm normally never nervous, but I just want to say having the call, having the microphone in your ear, and it's so loud and everybody depending on you, that's what I want, that's what I like. But at the same time, just knowing you got that responsibility makes you, make things a little more antsy, I'll say.
Quay, unless you've been out of the country, this is going to be a different Green Bay Packer team this season. It may be a Packer team that has to rely more heavily on its defense. As a defensive player, do you find that kind of exciting?
It definitely is, because that's the type of responsibility I love to take in, just by me being the sitting the call of the defense or whatever the case, right? Just being in the middle of it. That's something I feel like we need to embrace. Anytime a defense get to go out there, I think that's always the objective. Defense take over this game. Most people don't believe in defense still win championships, but that's something I still truly believe in a whole lot, so 100%.
Coming up, we talk with the Packers' biggest return of the offseason. Can the special team spark carry over in 2023? We discuss with Keyshawn Nixon next.
I didn't really want to go anywhere. I got here, I got comfortable, and I kind of want to make this home.
We're all trying to get these guys in position where they can perform well at what they do, and if we can put them in a position to help us all, it works out well.
Dallin Levitt, that's why he is here.
And that's why they call in his thump.
The improvement that we're seeing from each individual has made a huge difference on the whole unit.
Takes it. It is blocked on the play by Wilson. It is roped down beautifully. Rudy Ford with that speed.
The mentality, the effort they give, it's been pretty evident.
At the 1-yard line. Oh, that was so well done.
Wes, something that's become abundantly clear this offseason is that special teams are no longer the red-headed stepchild of the Packers operation.
That's very much true, Larry. And I mean, seeing the familiarity
Thank you.
with you're welcome on that. Seeing the familiarity with this group now is really what stood out the most to me. We'll talk a lot about these specialists, the Keyshawn Nixons of the world, but the culture that's been developed underneath Rich Bisaccia, I think that's what's changed. And now as you bring in young players this year, they're going to be able to learn from some of these guys that have been in place. And I think that's the most exciting thing, seeing those lessons be passed forward rather than trying to change what's happened in the past.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I never thought in a million years they'd be able to re-sign Keyshawn Nixon. I mean, the guy comes out of nowhere and becomes a first-team All-Pro. Keyshawn, do you appreciate the fact you came up the hard way?
Yeah.
Nothing was given to you. You were undrafted, and here, a few years later, you're first-team All-Pro.
I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, it was my own marathon, my own race. I had my own pace for it. I'm kind of happy my career has turned out the way it has because it's something I work for and it's a big accomplishment. And I'm excited to see what the future holds now.
I don't know if you realize this. They're going to introduce you as Keyshawn Nixon, All-Pro kickoff return man. I mean, you're like, as of now, an All-Pro for the rest of your life.
It's a great accomplishment, and I think it's the best thing that I'm the first Packer All-Pro kick returner also. So it's a historic team, and that's like a historic accomplishment to have. And now I feel like, you know, my name kind of lived a long time here, and plus more what I accomplished later on, especially this year.
Breaks into the clear. Keyshawn Nixon is off to the races. It's Secretariat at the Belmont. Down the stretch they come. No one will catch him. It is a touchdown. My goodness.
This past season, you're approaching free agency, and you have a humongous season. And I'm thinking, no way the Packers are going to be able to re-sign him. Yet they do. Could you talk about that and that decision?
I didn't really want to go anywhere. You know, I had conversations with my agent, and I just feel like it was the best situation for me to come back here regardless of like what other teams offered. And I got here, I got comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I met so many great people, and I kind of want to make this home.
Not long ago, Matt LaFleur was asked, who's going to be your nickel guy? Who's in the mix for that? And he said, well, when we line up for the first time, it's Keyshawn Nixon. Does being a regular part of the defense, is that a big deal to you?
Absolutely. Kick return was more so like just because I know I can do it, you know what I'm saying, at a high level. I always knew I was capable of doing what I do, but defense is where I feel like I bring the best to football and what I do as a player.
Intercepted out of bounds. Keyshawn Nixon.
It is clear that special teams are no longer an afterthought in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
No, because all those guys work hard, they come in here, compete, and they know how to play the right way. What coaches ask to do, they get it done. And I'm just happy that they bring all those guys back now, you know what I'm saying? We show what the team can be at the end of the year. Now it's going to be a little different. We can start it at the beginning of the year.
Is it fun getting back together with the guys after some time apart?
Yeah, I miss my friends, for real. Preston, Kenny, Dre, Sewell, yeah, those are my guys. So just being in the locker room again with them guys, just being around, I just kind of miss them.
After last season, I mean, just an incredible first season in Green Bay, hopefully the first of many. Everybody plans on being better, and you set that bar so high. What do you do for an encore?
That's the thing, that bar is not really set high. I don't really feel like I accomplished much last year. All I did was, you know what I'm saying, get my name out there. I feel like this year's gonna be the year that I show them who I really am. What I bring to the table wasn't a fluke. I say the words and I just go get it, compete at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is for real.
Spoff, I believe it was at the owners' meetings in Phoenix this year that Matt LaFleur said when they line up for the first time in their nickel defense, that Keyshawn Nixon is the nickel back. What do you think?
Well, I tell you, he brings that same tenacity that he has on special teams. He brings it to defense as well. This is a young man, he's still feeling his way defensively, but late in the season, he had that interception at Chicago late in the ball game that helped jumpstart that winning streak for the Packers late in the year. He'll be in year 2 now in Joe Barry's scheme, learning the system, settling in with Alexander and Douglas, you know, playing next to those guys. This is a real big opportunity for Nixon.
All right, guys, let's go back to the draft, and this time focus on defense. And I'm going to focus on Lucas Van Ness, defensive end, edge-type player from Iowa, 6'5", 272. He ran a 4.58, and nobody on the college level could block this dude. Wes, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to go with Nolan Smith, also kind of an edge type, but a very different type of body type, 6'2", 238 pounds. He isn't your traditional big-time rusher, but I'm so impressed by him. Yes, the 40 time, 4.39, the 42-inch vertical. The guy jumps off the charts, but he's also a Georgia Bulldog. And when you talk about the defensive players that they have turned out there, several of them have made their way to Green Bay. There is a culture that has developed there that I think there brings an edge to those type of players, and I think that kid has only scratched the surface of his potential.
Spoff, how about you?
Well, I'll make it 3 for 3 with the edge rushers because I'm going with Miles Murphy from Clemson. 6'5", 268 pounds, similar in size to Lucas Van Ness. Similar in size to Preston Smith on the edge for the Packers. A solid run defender, can also get after the quarterback. That type of two-way defender, I think, is what the Packers really like at edge rusher, and he's a guy I have my eye on.
All right, coming up, like the song says, the boys are back in town. Who was that, Thin Lizzy?
I think so.
I think it was. All right, Thin Lizzy. Stick around for that, and we'll talk more about the 2023 season. Don't go away.
Back in the building. Let's get it.
The Pack is back in town, currently in the middle of the off-season workout program. 3 weeks of OTA practices kick off May 22nd, an appetizer for the mandatory minicamp starting June 13th. No Dean Lowry, no Jaron Reed. It's time to shine for Devontae Wyatt. Not every snap, not every game, but last season we did get a taste of the player Devontae can be. Devontae working against real deal NFL starters, and watch the move. With the right hand, the club, and with the left arm, the rip. And something else, something that all good pass rushers have, and that's relentlessness. Watch the effort, the want to, the desire to get to the quarterback. Everything you're looking for in a pass rusher, we just saw. Play action now off a split zone, and they're going to be coming at Devontae from all angles. He starts by going inside, feels the tackle, back to the outside by him. Now he has to contend with the tight end. He's got to come up with a move on the move, and he does. Another rip. He makes the tight end look sick, and he makes Tua's life absolutely, positively miserable. The quickness and twitch we're seeing in the pass rush applies to the running game too. Devontae starts with a little head fake outside, and then it's to the inside, and he splits the double team part of a combo block. Devontae is also underneath the Rams center, and he's stronger than the Rams center, and he's stopping the Rams for 0-0, nada. Season finale, and Davante is putting it all together. And something he does instinctively is that he doesn't stay belly to belly with the blocker. He works the edges, and by doing so, he only has to beat half a man, not a full man. Just what he does right here, and he's in on Jared Goff for the sack and the forced fumble. Just imagine if Davante can make a second-year jump similar to the one Kenny Clark made back in 2017.
Kenny actually told me he had a rookie year like mine. He started off a little rough, and he said always, you know what I'm saying, throughout the end of the season or your second year, it's going to be your big jump. So he just saying, don't stress yourself out over it, keep pushing yourself and keep going out with good effort.
Hit from behind, drops up the football, and the sack made by Devontae Wyatt.
Devontae Wyatt, a big piece in the Packers' puzzle in 2023. And guys, of course, the headline act is Jordan Love taking over at quarterback. Goes without saying. However, one of the things that really interests me is how the team will react to him, how it rallies around him. Will everybody feel compelled to do a little bit more? Will they replace Aaron collectively rather than individually? I think that'll be fascinating to watch. Wes, how about you?
Yeah, I agree, Larry. And listening to Aaron Jones talk at the Packers tailgate tour as they were getting ready to kick off, he mentioned the lesson that all these returning veterans, that they're going to be passing on to Jordan Love is that we're here for you. You are the quarterback. We are going to support you and do everything in our power to make sure that you are comfortable in that seat. There are so many great leaders that he's going to be able to lean on right out of the gate. I think that should really allow a young player to really thrive in year one.
Spoff, what are you looking at?
Well, with regard to this Packers offensive line, they've got one of the best left tackles in the business in David Bakhtiari, a 5-time All-Pro. Left guard in Elton Jenkins, who's a 2-time Pro Bowler. The last 38 games for the Green Bay Packers, including playoffs, those two guys have lined up next to each other on the left side 6 times. That's going to change in 2023, and that's going to be a big help for Jordan Love.
Thank you, gentlemen, and that is it for the Total Packers off-season report. Thank you for watching, and as always, until next time, take care.